Hi, my name is Muzi. Today we are going to be looking at regular expressions. And I hope you can see this properly, but let me just bump up the size a bit. Close everything else that we're not going to be using. Hide this out. Okay, yeah. So, regular expressions in Python. So now the first question is, what is a regular expression? So what a regular expression is, or what it allows you to do, is to search for patterns within strings. So normally when you're first starting off with programming, you normally just use your string replace, your string methods such as string replace to find something within a whole blob of text. But now here's the problem. What if the thing you're looking for isn't an absolute value of something, but what if it's a pattern? Like for instance, let's say you're looking for, or you're searching for an email within a piece of text. So now you know that there's a lot of emails within the text, but you're not just looking for a specific one. You're looking for actually every email address that you can find, or a cell number that you can find within that blob of text. So the one thing you could use, or the one thing that's highly recommended for you to use when you're searching for patterns, is regex, or regular expressions. So now how regex works is it just uses a pattern to find anything. So now, fortunately, with Python, there's a built-in regex module. To use it, just go import re, and that's it. You have it, because it comes with the standard library. So now there's two things that you need to know, or that you need to be able to use in combination. First thing that I like to point you towards, even though it comes second here, is finding groups of things. So for instance, if you're using regex and you want to find a group of word characters, you go backslash. You use backslash as your regex pattern. That's word of character. That's for searching for words. So now \w, what it does is actually searches for all your alphanumeric characters and the underscore. So it's basically A to Z, 0 to 9, and the underscore as well. If you're searching for digits, \d gives you returns anything that's between 0 and 9. If you're searching for white spaces, it's \s. So now with this, it doesn't just look for normal white spaces. It would also include your tabs and your line endings as well. Word boundary, \b. Now what word boundary is that if you're looking at maybe a blob of text and it's something, hashtag, then something else, it can actually distinguish between where a word ends and where a word ends, or where a word starts within a string sequence. But I do not use it that much. I just normally search for exact things, or I look for white spaces when I'm doing anything that has to do with regex. So now, it is important that when you're using your regex, you use your \, because if in a regex expression you put w as is, Python is going to think you're searching for the actual alphabet, for an actual w. So you have to use the backslashes. Same with your digits, your white spaces, and your word boundaries. Now, when you're looking for the opposite, you capitalize everything. So if you want anything that is not a word, you go \w. If you're looking for something that's not a digit, you go capital letter D. Looking for non-white spaces, capital letter S. Non-boundary word boundaries, capital letter B. So yeah, well, with this you can actually start using regex. So if you wanted to maybe kick out, maybe in your blob of text, you wanted to return only the words, no numbers, no punctuation or anything like that, you could just say return everything that is \w, and regex will return you everything that is alphanumeric, including the underscore. Now, to group these things, or to find certain combinations of anything that you want to do, you can use what's called control characters. Now, what control characters are basically, it's going to be all of your brackets in your keyboard, your braces, your square brackets, your curly braces, you're going to use them. These are for groups. So now if you're looking for like any normal group of a regex expression, you put in you put in your normal brackets, yeah. What do you call them? The braces. Yeah, you put everything inside the braces. So if you were looking for a group of something, you put that inside of this. And then for your, if you want, and then your square braces, if you put anything inside the square braces, regex will see it as you wanting to return any of the single characters inside the braces. So if here we had 1, 2, 3, then regex will look for either a 1 or a 2 or a 3. So that's how the square brackets work. But if inside the brackets you start with the caret, which is another control character, if you start with this, it's going to look for anything that is not inside the brackets. So if we had here 1, 2, 3, if you had the caret 1, 2, 3, so your regex will look for basically anything that is not a 1 or a 2 or a 3. Another way of using the square brackets is by giving regex a range. So now if you go, if let's say inside this thing we put in a range of say 1 to 4, then if we say 1-4, then regex would go in looking for either a 1 or a 2 or a 3 or a 4. Because yeah, that's what this dash is for. Just it's between it's minimum and maximum. Another control character. Okay, we've done this. It's just normal grouping. The square brackets are for picking anything, any character inside the brackets, or a single character inside the brackets, and then the curly braces. For that, is when you want to give regex a specific amount or a specific range of something that you're looking for. So in this instance, if you give it a regex, if you say regex expression, and then inside the curly braces you put in a 2. So you are then saying you're looking for 2 occurrences of this regex expression. And if you give inside the curly braces, you go, in this instance, we go n, m. This is the minimum and the maximum. So we're basically looking for a range of this particular regex expression. So if this was a 2 and a 4, we'd be looking for a 2 to 4 occurrences of this regular expression. So those are your brackets. The caret is for the beginning of the line. So if the caret is not inside any of these braces, you're basically wanting your regex. You're basically saying, regex, find me something that starts somewhere, and then you write your regex expression. If regex finds a $, then it means you are saying regex, search up until this part, because the $, that's what it's for, is for the end of the line. The dot is for any single character, as in if you're saying, return me anything, maybe blah, 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 dot, so that dot could be a space, could be a character, could be a digit, could be an alphabet, could be a digit. The star is 0 or more. So basically, if you want maybe to search for, what can we search for? Maybe say okay, I can't think of anything at the moment, but we'll see when we get to the examples. So the star is for 0 or more occurrences. Question mark is 0 or 1, just 1, 0 or 1. So they can either be none of that or just one occurrence of whatever expression that we put in. The plus is for 1 or more. Yeah, so on the one side you have 0 or more, in the center you have 0 or 1, and then after that it's 1 or more with the plus sign. And then the pipe is just your normal O, as in return A or B. Now, so another thing to watch out for is, what if you're looking for an actual dot in something? So with that is, you would have to remember to put in a backslash to be able to search for an actual dot on using regex. Now I know this might seem a bit too abstract if this is just your first time with regex. So I'm going to keep referring to both of these things, the control characters and searching for groups of things using regex. But for now, let's just go straight into an example or a couple of examples to put everything into perspective, right? In Python, the most the most you might find yourself using, the methods that I find myself constantly using are find all, search, sub, and split. So with find all, it does that. It goes out and finds every occurrence that matches the regex pattern, and it returns a list. Search only finds the first occurrence. Sub is substitution, so it substitutes whatever it finds with whatever that you're going to give it. Split works like a normal string, splits like in Python strings. So it just splits on the pattern itself. Let's get to an example. Here I have a string. Let's run this string. With this string, okay, there's a lot of things here. So my cell number is, so it's just a combination, it just gives a combination of, what is this? A combination of cell numbers. So there's the first cell number, second cell number, and there's a second alternative. So if you look at these things, because we're going to be searching for cell numbers initially, this is a cell, okay, in South African terms anyway, because in South Africa, a cell number has 10 digits. That's if you put a 0 in front. So this one is just 10 digits with no spaces. This one is also a cell number, but then there's 3 digit space, 3 digit space, and then 4 numbers. This one is also a cell number, but then there's 4 digits space, 3 space. It's 3 digits, yeah. And then if you include the international dialing code, our dialing code is +27. So if you by any chance you're searching for cell numbers and you happen to get something like this, you can't hard code it. You can't just say, return me like maybe anything that's a digit or 10, anything that is 10 digits and it is back to back, because you wouldn't be able to find these ones, right? So we are gonna use regex, and how I'm gonna show it now is by using the find all method. So how you use it is basically you just say re.findAll, you give it the pattern that you're looking for and the string that you're gonna be searching through. And then the R is for just to tell Python, hey, listen, read this thing as is. Read this string as is, and then regex will know what to do with it. So with this instance, so if you run this, regex basically goes in and searches for anything that is made up of digits, but then because of the curly braces, we want 10 digits. So we get this number. We don't get any of these. Do we get? Okay, we found 3 numbers here. 1, 2, 3, 9, 7. We get this. This is not a cell number. It just says it's a product ID, but it returned it because we asked it for 10 digits. What else did it find? Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm getting confused. It also found this one with the +27. So it took the first part here, but it left out the last 4 because it just was looking for the first 10 digits. Okay, so this is, before I forget, another very important thing with regex is you have to build your regex up. So you start from something simple and you build and you build from there. Okay, this is our first iteration of the regex pattern. It finds this one fine. It doesn't find all of this one fine because of the 27, it kicked out the last 4, and then it included a product ID. So we need to start iterating through the regex pattern. First thing we do is, we say, in general, cell numbers will start with a 0. So now we say we are looking for the same thing. We're looking for cell numbers, re.findAll. But now we're saying in the 0, and then after that, find 9 digits. So it's going to be a 0 and then 9 digits. If we run this, it finds the first one and nothing else. Okay, now we have to iterate, and we have to go through another iteration. And the second iteration is, let's just go number by number by number. It's finding this one fine. Now let's make it find this one as well. So it's 3 digits, space, 3 digits, space. So from this one, we have to improve that one. So it's going to be a 0. After that, there's 2 more digits. So \d and 2 numbers. Okay, sorted. And then here there's a space. So now to actually cater for when there's going to be a space and sometimes there's no spaces, we're going to say, okay, we put in a dot, because a dot basically looks for anything. We just say, okay, there might be something there. Okay, maybe a dot might not work perfectly. Let's just say white space. So we're saying, okay, after 2 digits, there might be white space, a white space as in 0 or 1. So let's see, backslash. Yeah, no, but not backslash, a question mark. So we're saying, find anything that matches this pattern that has, it's a 0, it's 2 digits, and then a space. But then with this space, there might be 0 or 1 of the spaces. And then find, after that, there's going to be 3 digits. There is digits, but then there has to be 3 of them. And no. There might also be 0 or 1 space after that, and then 4 digits at the end. And then we run this. So yeah, we find the second number. Well, it's all working fine, but then look at this. We've also found this number here. Now, in South Africa, a 011 or anything that doesn't start with a 06, 07, or 08 is not a cell number. This is a landline, Johannesburg to be exact. So we found the first one, we found the second one. Now let's try and find the third one. Okay, no, wait, let's kick out the landline first. To kick out the landline, we improve this regex expression from here. We say any number that has a 0, but then after the 0, there has to be a 6 or a 7 or 8. That's how the South African cell numbers. That's the pattern for South African cell numbers. So we're doing this just to kick out this landline number. They start with a 011. So it is that plus, okay, let me return the white space here. Yeah, so it's basically this regex expression, but then we improved it in the beginning here on the second digits that we're looking for. And it loses the second number. It loses this one. What happened? It's going to be this digit, second, third, a space, 3 digits. Oh, I forgot this backslash here. Because now it was looking for an actual S, as in is the 0 or 1 of the actual alphabet S. But we want white spaces here. We want an empty space, sorry. Then we run this, okay, now it's back, sorry, that was me. What were we doing? Oh, we wanted to kick out the landline from this thing. Okay, now we need to improve it again to try and find the next cell number, which is this one, where there's 4 numbers at the beginning. So we take this one as is, and then from that we improve it. We say the first one is 0. Oh yeah, remember the thing about the range. We can also, within the square bracket, say between any number which is between this range, 6 to 8. That would be 6 or 7 or 8. And then 8 digits. But then with these digits, we're putting here a plus, as in there could be 1 or more. So without the plus, this is going to be 3 digits. And then with the plus, this basically means this is going to be 1 or more digits. So to cater for the fact that sometimes it's going to be 3, sometimes there's going to be 4. And then the space, okay, if you don't want to, sometimes like if you don't want to put in, if you want to put in the backslash S, you can just put in some instances you can put in just a dot, because the dot will search for anything, as in 0 or more of anything. So there's that. And then if there's 4 numbers in front, it means there's going to be 3 or 3 on the other ones. So now after that, you're going to give the middle part a range. Say sometimes there's 3 numbers, sometimes there's 4. So it's a range. This is minimum and maximum. Then another space. Then for the last part, sometimes there's 3 or 4 numbers. We run this again, and now we are finding the third cell number. Now we are going to be going for this one. the one that has the international dialing code in front. So to do that, we are going to take the regex pattern that we know works and then improve it. On this new line, we are basically, because what we're really interested in is actually the first number, because sometimes it's 0, sometimes it's 27. We put that inside your square braces. You say, okay, what we're searching for now is either a 27 or a 0, and then you continue with the normal pattern. And then we do this, and it returns everything. Okay, it returns the new cell number now, which is the one that starts with the +27. So now, when we're looking at the string, we have this number, we have this, we have that. This is a landline, and then email, ID number, product ID. Okay, yeah, we're done with finding cell numbers in the string. Let's search for emails. There are quite a few regex expressions used to find email addresses within a string. The one that I've seen that seems to work most of the time for some of the cases that I normally deal with is the first one. Okay, the main one that I use is just this, because the most important thing in an email address is the @ symbol. You know that an email is going to be something at something dot something most of the time. Yeah. So we basically say anything that is not white space, and there has to be one or more of whatever like those characters are, and then an @ symbol. After the @ symbol, there's a group of words. There's a couple of words. It might be 1, might be 3, might be 15, and then an actual dot. That's why we have a backslash here. There's an actual dot after that. So this is username at. This part would be Yahoo or Gmail, and then an actual dot, and then the com would be this. As in, it's a word, could be 1, could be 2, could be 15. That's why the plus is there, as in 1 or more. So this part would return username at gmail.com. But what if your email isn't not a .com, or what if it's .co.uk? So to cater for the .uk, we go, after all of this, there might be an actual dot, but then 0 or 1 of that dot, and then a couple of words after that. So now if we run this, it grabs all the email addresses that are in the string. What else? We're looking for hashtags. What if there's a hashtag? Okay, there it is. Hashtag Python live in the string. What if there's a hashtag? Okay, with the hashtag, it's simple. You tell it, find anything that has an actual hashtag, and then a group of words after that, and then words after that. It could be 1 or more alphabets after that. So we run this, we get back Python live. Same thing with the username, with the @ symbol. With the @ symbol, we run this, we get this. Okay, that was users. Oh yeah, there's a problem with this. If you run it like this, it not only returns the username that's in the string, it's also returning the @email. So to kick that out, we're just gonna improve our regex string and say there's gonna be a space before the @ symbol. Excuse me. Before the @ symbol. So we run this, we get back regex awesome. So yeah, that's find all. Returns a list of anything that matches the regex pattern. If we use search will return, remember, search will return the first occurrence of the pattern that it finds, of anything that matches the pattern. So this was the pattern that we used at the top for the cell numbers. So we say re.search, so now we're looking for a cell number, not a list, not a group of them. Using the same string. Now what search does, it returns a match object. And now the thing that you're searching for is inside that match object. So to return it, you just basically go cell. In this instance, we're going to go match object dot group, and we return it. This is the cell number. Excuse me. Yeah, there was search. What else is there? Sub. Sub is your replacement method. So if you want to replace anything that matches a certain regex pattern with something, you do that. So in this instance, let's say we wanted to hide all of these cell numbers. We want to use this regex pattern to find every cell number that's in the string. And then we're going to replace it with just this piece of text that says number deleted. So with that, just go read.sub. It's your regex pattern. What you're going to be replacing the string once you find it and the string itself. Then we run it. So everywhere where there used to be a cell number now, it's just the word number deleted, because we wanted to hide the cell numbers. Okay, that's sub. You can use anything with sub. You can use even an empty string. So when you run it, when we run it now, so basically all the cell numbers have just disappeared because we put in an empty string. We could put in a lot of X's to show that there used to be a cell numbers there somewhere. So now it replaces all of the actual cell numbers with the X's. The last one that we're looking at is split. Okay, now with split works like how a normal string method split works, with the exception that it takes in a regex pattern. So if you look at this, even if you look at this, what got returned here, the piece of the string that I gave the regex pattern is actually made up of sentences. So now let's say we wanted to split the sentence. We wanted to have a list of the individual. If we wanted, okay, split returns a list. We give it what you're going to be splitting on, and then it uses that to split the string. Yeah, so in this instance, we're saying we're going to split using the period, which is what you normally find at the end of the sentence. Yeah, if it's written correctly, you'd find it at the end of the sentence. But then at the end of this dot or the period, there's a space. So now when we run this, hopefully everything is split. Yeah, we have a first sentence, second sentence, third sentence, but then there's these spaces. I think these are tabs. To get rid of this, we just basically say it's going to be a period and a whole end. Oops. So it's going to be a period and maybe one or more spaces. And then we run this and we get back our sentences. So yeah, this is basically a rough overview of what regex is. So what I'm going to do is below this video, I'm just going to put in a link to my GitHub for so you can get and play around. So you can get this notebook and play around with it. Yeah, I hope this helps out. Thank you so much. And feel free to like and subscribe for future videos. This is actually my first video that actually has to do with programming. So I'm thinking of doing more and more as time goes by. So tell me if you'd like to see more, because yeah, I actually have a lot of these. Right, you have a fantastic day. See you on the next one.